Well, I finally got it. Season rank 145, Red Death Catalyst. It feels great to finally have access to this thing, but it is really stupid that they locked it behind a time gate. After spending a brief moment in Kali getting approximately 700 something kills to unlock the Catalyst, it is time to review what this thing actually does and let you know if it is worth all the hype or I was just waiting to make a video on it for absolutely no reason. First of all, the Red Death Catalyst reads as follows. Final blows charge this weapon. When the weapon is charged, the next final blow creates a healing burst at your location and leaves a remnant behind that provides restoration to other. Now, the wording on this catalyst is remarkably important. The first part, when the weapon is charged, the next final blow creates a healing burst at your location and leaves a remnant behind that provides restoration to allies. You will see very quickly that this is either not true or it is not working as intended. Since it's easiest to examine things in a private game in Crucible, we're going to start there first. Getting a single kill with the Red Death will give you a weapon-based buff that reads Red Death charged in the bottom left. This buff lasts infinitely, and you can tell that your gun has it at a brief glance by the fact that the little prongs or spikes in the front of the gun are charged. The buff lasts forever except when you die. That is the only time when you will lose the charge. As you can see, when you die, you lose the charge. Simple as. In Crucible, it takes 2 charges of Red Death charge to produce the healing effect and to generate a remnant, and we're going to show you very quickly what the effect of that is. The healing effect from the burst and the remnant heal for around 30 HP, as you can tell by this super scientific test by just examining footage and looking at health bars. Gonna play that once again for you in slow motion. You can see both of the health bars on screen are getting healed by approximately 30 for each individual instance of healing, both the healing pulse and the remnant. As you can see in the footage, the remnant that spawns is generated at the exact instance that you get a kill and is consumed by the player. I think that this was just an easy way for the developers to get around a healing pulse, but because there's a remnant, they included the remnant in the text. I think the text of this catalyst should be reworded to reflect what they actually mean. The way the catalyst reads makes me think that this is either broken or an unintended effect, because the catalyst reads, there's 2 unique instances of healing, one of which being the healing pulse that heals you and your allies who are super close to you, and the second is a remnant that is just left on the ground for your teammates to come and pick up at a later time. I do not think that this is functioning properly. However, the heal factor of this catalyst, is it strong enough to justify using the catalyst? Yes, absolutely. Free heals for you and your allies means this thing is going to be really good. The problem is when it isn't functioning properly. The support aspect of this catalyst is completely gone. It just has no support aspect because the amount of instances in 6s or 3s where you're going to be right up inside of your teammate's cooter, you can usually count it on one hand per game, and even then, the healing you're getting isn't strong enough to justify being grouped up to the point where anybody's abilities are going to be able to one-shot and kill you and your entire team at the same time. Now, this next footage isn't exactly scientific, but adding on to the point that I'm trying to make, because this thing doesn't spawn a remnant, you need to be really close to your teammates. I wouldn't say that I'm more than 8 meters away from my teammate right here, and the healing burst from Red Death's reload does not affect him. The effective healing radius of the Red Death healing pulse, I think, is somewhere around 3 to 4 meters at max if they run into it as it is being pulsed out. The point that this clip tries to prove is that this isn't a player-side issue where a remnant is generating on my screen and being consumed, but it's there for everybody else. It's proving that the remnant is team-based, and as soon as I, as the player who's using Red Death, picks it up, nobody on my team is then able to come through and pick it up after the fact. Minor gripes aside with how the catalyst is supposed to function and examining its utility in PvP, which I certainly feel is the best place where this thing shines. This gun feels like it was destined to decimate PvP from the second it was entered into the game and when they didn't nerf it. In either case, taking it into PvE, we can see a couple of things. For starters, spoilers, sorry, I do not recommend using Red Death, and I don't think this catalyst is going to make it any better in high-end endgame content. This is simply an expert mode breach executable, and not only is it dealing basically no damage, but the heals you're getting aren't making up for the time it takes to get them. You're much better off using any other Void, any other Devour. The Red Death heals simply aren't worth it, I'm afraid. I took Red Death into at least 3 different raids and or dungeons. I ended up changing before anything useful came up. Wasting your exotic slot on a utility exotic meant to survive really isn't helpful in the way the meta stands currently. The only thing I can say is that it is easy to trigger the heal, just as you'd expect. If you kill 2 majors, or aka 2 yellow bars, 2 bosses, what have you, you will be getting the charge. And when it comes to killing red bars, just your minor enemies, you only need to kill 3 of them. First 2 to proc the first set of charge, the one that shows up on your screen, and 1 final one to actually activate it. Doesn't matter what enemy you kill. If it's a red bar, 3. If it's a yellow bar up, 2 kills. Now, I'll just reiterate the point. I do not think that this Catalyst is particularly good in PvE. This thing shines when it is being used in the Crucible. The additional healing you're getting on top of all of the other healing and passive stats from Red Death make this thing a monster. It's like Bungie were sitting in a room, said to themselves, hey, wait a second, we recognize we have a PvP exotic for once, let's give it a Catalyst that basically is only feasible in PvP. And all the developers collectively put their heads together and said, great, let's make a fundamentally broken Catalyst on paper, and then let's have it not function properly because we're Bungie and that's just what we do sometimes. Besides that, I have nothing else to say about the Catalyst. It's good. I think it's worth getting exclusively for PvP. Besides that, I'm just going to let play out one of the better games of the night that I was playing, the very first night I was using this thing. And besides that, I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. The Catalyst ranking video is coming soon. This was the last Catalyst I was waiting on. I'm so excited to be able to actually complete that thing. It's been 8 weeks in the making. It'll be out relatively soon, within the next week, I hope. Besides that, thank each and every single one of you for watching. Take care now.
You have my respect, Hunter. Enemy claimed Zone C. Double down. You captured Zone C. What can stop you if you fight together? Nothing. Zone C lost. Double down. You captured Zone A. captured Zone B. Zone B lost.
This thing is like really good. This thing is really, really, like, really, really good. I've been drinking, dog. Like, I'm not that good at this game normally. I'm not good at this game normally, bro. I'm like 13 beers deep right now. Like, I should not be awake right now. Holy shit, man.
Double down.
Ah!
Enemy claimed
It's
Zone
okay.
C.
It's okay. Sorry for my outburst.
2 for 1. 5 minutes left. Keep it up. Zone C captured. Victory imminent. Zone C lost. You captured Zone C. Enemy claimed Zone A. Zone A captured.
GG, fellas. Let's see how well I did.
Sound tactics bring victory.
GG, fellas. Let's see how well I did. This is how I did, by the way. This gun is really good.